Hi friends, welcome to my channel Connecting with Littles. If you're new here, my name is Melinda and I love to share the things that I have learned with other busy young moms like myself. The last 2 weeks have been hard. We all got sick, or the girls got sick the first week, and I got sick the second week, and I spent almost a week pretty much in bed, doing barely what I had to do, having help with most all the work in the house and all that stuff. And now that I'm feeling better and getting up again, I sometimes feel so overwhelmed. And I think I've learned some things that I wanted to share with other young moms like myself because of some other seasons of overwhelm that I've gone through. There's so much work that has piled up in those 2 weeks that it would take me several days to myself to get them done, but we do what we can. And we're getting there. We're getting back into all getting done the basics. Anyways, when one has a baby and little children, one can never get it all done, right? I wanted to share some things that I have learned in my young mom years that have helped me and that hopefully can help you too if you're going through the struggles. I find that a lot of people who share maybe how to do these first years have one or two, and not discounting at all that that's hard too. But I often find it doesn't really apply to my life. Many older moms with all their wisdom have also shared, and that I have learned a lot from them. And I also remember when it looks like they make it look so easy. They have older children already. For me, my oldest is 6, and there's some things that are a lot easier than when I had a 1 and 2 year old. And so I hope to share with you something that could be of encouragement. Maybe you could find some helpful tips I've learned from other moms. One of the first things that I had to learn is to accept sleepless nights. I was used to having good complete nights, and with a baby one can't do that. And it was hard with my first one. She was hard. She would fight sleep, and I felt if I didn't get these certain hours of sleep, I couldn't function the same. And I learned so that when my fourth was also fighting sleep, it wasn't so hard. If one has to get a bit less hours of sleep, sure, one needs it. One can't always live on less hours of sleep, but once in a while, I think most of us can learn to then just get on with life afterwards. Another thing that I have learned is to not have a set plan for what will get done. Today, there's so much I wish I could get done, and I just have to know I'll do my best. I'll take care of my baby and my family as they need me, but what doesn't get done just doesn't get done. Someday I'll catch up on it again. I know after each of my babies, I got to a stage after each of the others where I felt I could handle and get done most everything most days. It's of course always full, but that's one thing I have to remind myself now in this baby stage. When my baby wants to be held a lot and there's so much I wish I could get done, it will get done someday. And someday I will miss this baby stage. I know I will. Remember that this stage will pass. That's another thing that by this time with 4 babies, I've learned. After my first one, I didn't go through it so much, but after my second, this overwhelm. But it came through it. After my third, also for a while, this overwhelm. And now these last few days, I think it does get easier with more children and as one learns more. And these last few days, because we've been sick, I think is why it has been so hard and everything got behind. But I know I will get through this stage again, and it won't always be like this. And so that helps me to relax too. I can also imagine that as much easier it is having a 4 and a 6 year old who help out with the chores, how much easier it will be when my 4 and 6 and 2 year olds are 16, 14, and 12. And then I can hardly imagine how much that will be able to be of a help. Another thing, because I want to be a good mom, I like to remind moms to be intentional. I don't have a lot of time to do a lot of things with my children, but I try. I try to at least see them, notice them, be intentional with the time I have for them. I yesterday woke up from my nap and there was so much work to do. But I decided I hadn't gotten into it yet. And my children, I haven't taken much time to read to them for a while. So I took a bit of time to just stop my day and read. And they enjoyed it, and then they happily kept playing, and then I kept on with my work as much as I could do. Another thing, as frustrating as it was when people told me this, is to take a bit of time for yourself when you can. It was frustrating because I would say, where do I have time? And I have written and talked about what to do when you just cannot, when the children need you and you just so badly want a break and you cannot. God can give us the strength for those moments, but when you have a moment, when you have someone who could watch the children for a while, when different things like that, when I have the blessing of having grandparents for my children, that they don't mind watching them once in a while. They're still my responsibility. I still need to make sure I don't abandon them and just go do my thing. But sometimes we need time to charge our own batteries, even if it's just half an hour, or even if it's 1 minute. I remember 2 weeks ago when I was just running around caring for sick children, trying to get things done. And I stopped one day, and we have some beautiful mountains behind our place. And I just looked out. I saw the houses in the distance, all across the mountainside, and I thought, I've been running around in these four walls. It feels like that's all there is to life, but there's a much bigger world. And someday, hopefully, I can get out of these four walls and do something else sometimes too. But the world is much bigger. And simple things like that help us to get a reset to keep helping our children. Jesus needed breaks too. He went to pray. He'd take his disciples to pray. But if there was needy people, he found strength in God. And that's one thing I want to encourage moms over and over. Take your time to pray. Take your time to do your things. But when you can't, you will get through it. Remember that no one does it all. Often it looks like we see moms who look like they do it all. And I have this problem too. And I just so badly wish I could do more than what I'm doing. But then I remember that no one does it all. Other moms have told me, and I tell other moms, when it looks like someone does a lot, they're leaving something. When I take time to write or to make videos, I'm usually leaving something in my house undone. And so just remember, there are stages, there are seasons, and no one can do it all. You can't, and no one else can. Sometimes the most important thing we can do is be at home with our children, facing all the work we have to do, taking time for them. I remember reading a couple weeks ago somewhere, someone who had seen this mom come to this pool with her little girl. And they were both nicely dressed and combed, maybe bathing suits. And the mom took some pictures of herself with her daughter in the pool in the background, and some pictures of her daughter by the pool. And then she went and played on or scrolled through her phone or did whatever on her phone while her little girl was wanting her to come and play in the pool. And after a while they left. And the mom never even got in the pool. And the author, I remember, was saying how probably this mom was posting pictures about how she was doing quality time with her daughter, going to the pool, and to a busy, tired mom with several little ones at home, with a messy house and not having time to do that for her children, she would probably feel condemned that she couldn't match up. And yet, she would be doing the most important part because she was there for her children and not portraying some image. Even if she couldn't take the time to take her children to the pool, she was doing the best she could for them and giving her all, and that is more important. I used to, before I entered motherhood, maybe judged some moms too harshly. Well, they should be able to do more, or they should be able to keep up. And that's one thing where, having gone through some postpartum depression myself, through seasons of overwhelm, I am a whole lot slower to judge moms who don't get it all done. Because I know I've been through seasons where I haven't gotten it all done. My last tip would be to ask God for strength and wisdom. We're not made to do this alone. It takes a village to raise a child, they say, and I'm blessed with grandparents and aunts and a husband who help me with the children. Often, even if most of the time it's up to me to take care of them. And I hope you have that community too, but if not, we do have God, and He will give us wisdom, and ask Him for wisdom and ask Him for strength to do what you need to do. I remember one time at a season where I think I was struggling with thyroid problems, and I was laying in bed. I had this huge mountain of dishes in this messy house, and I was just wishing someone would come. I hardly ever have people stopping. Like I've said, I'm blessed. I can ask people for help, and I usually can get help if I need. But when I got up, there on the porch was my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law, and they decided to just come for whatever reason. I'm not sure that day. And they did my dishes and help me out. It was such a touch from God, such a blessing. And other times when no one has showed up, and when I feel like I'm about at a breaking point, I've been able to ask God to help me. I've been able to apologize to my children and remember these things. Remember that this stage will pass. Remember that God will give me the grace to get through it, and that I'm blessed, so blessed. So today, if you're in the tough days of motherhood and you just feel like you can't get through, can't get out of this running around this little circle inside the four walls, I want to encourage you that I've been there too, other moms have been there too. It will come through, and God can help you. I hope that the rest of your day goes better, and I hope you can find the strength and the grace you need in God. Thank you for listening.